Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Anyways, this video is going to be about My Hero. And I've had a lot of problems with My Hero, but I fucking love the series. I don't want anyone to say that I don't, because I really do. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. But there's a few things that I want to say. This video is mainly going to be about Endeavor. But I want to get this stuff out of the way first. I think the fan base is absolutely terrible on My Hero. I think they've gotten better lately, but I don't know. I haven't really kept up. I'm not caught up with the manga. And yeah, so let's get into what I want to talk about. Endeavor. Endeavor is, in my opinion, the best hero in My Hero. By far. He's the most interesting character as well. Well, yeah. And where we're at in the anime, which I haven't read all of the manga, but where I am at in the anime was season 6, I think. Was the latest season. Endeavor plays a decent role in it. He's played a decent role for a while. And I think there's two things about Endeavor that kind of irk me the wrong way. Is how he got forgiven so easily. And then, because what he did to his family was absolutely fucking terrible. It really was. Like, he beat his wife. He forced his kids to train. And then, like, the kids that didn't have the power that he wanted them to, he, threw them aside, which their kids should be resentful and hateful and mean towards this guy because that shit's fucking not okay. It's never okay to hit, like, your kids. These are children. And I think, yes, Shoto really kind of was like, I'm never going to trust you, blah, blah, blah. And then he kind of just forgives him. Which, in my opinion, there's going to be spoilers. Dabi's interpretation of his father is true. Like, he's not a good guy. This guy is doing this stuff for... Endeavor was so hungry to be number one that he would do anything to get to number one. Like, he did what he thought was necessary to beat All Might. He wanted to have... But, like, is it really you beating him? This never made sense to me. Is it really you beating him if your kid's better than him? Like, huh? And Shoto kind of got a nerf after the, like, tournament arc in, like, season 1 or 2 or whatever. But, that is one of my problems with My Hero is, like, it goes up and down on, like, the goodness. Like, I loved the overhaul stuff. But then right after that, I think is one of the worst arcs in the series. But we're talking about Endeavor here. Endeavor, like, is so interesting. Like, when he was fighting that Nomu and his relationship with Hawks and stuff was thrilling and exciting and amazing to learn more about. And, like, when Endeavor has the burden of to be number one, like, he never thought he would make it to number one. Mentally, he never thought he would be there. And he is now at the point where he is number one. And he has all the pressure to live up to the greatest number one of all time, All Might. And him and All Might are very drastically different people. Endeavor was popular, yes. But, like, Endeavor wasn't, like... No one, I think... thought Endeavor was a nice guy. Like, yes, he's a hero and he will save you, so it kind of makes him have to be a nice guy, but he's never been, like, an amazingly nice guy. Like, that's never been how he's been perceived by the public, in my opinion. But, like, this is, like, the only profession in this series that, like, most kids perspire to be, and it's like, if you work so hard in your entire life to do something and you can't be the best, and there's this other guy who looks like he's barely trying and he's best and he's outdoing you, and, like, it's not even close, and you're trying so hard to get to, like, at least on his level, and you can't even do that. That is how I see Endeavor. Like, that's what Endeavor psychically or mentally was going through. He wanted to be at a level he could just never reach, and it was destroying him. Now, I think most of the heroes in My Hero are fucking fodder garbage. Like, these students who have had barely any training are doing way more than most of the heroes have ever done. 100%. Deku in like fucking 6 months has done more than anything they've done. And he's a fucking student. He gets chastised for doing what he's doing, and he's the only one who's been doing it. And yes, he was given All Might's power, but All Might wasn't... Think about this. All Might wasn't using the power to its fullest potential. Like, if All Might had all the fucking broken-ass abilities Deku had, and not just one, he would be even stronger. So, add all these extra abilities onto Deku. And I think Deku has a personality built to be a hero. And because Deku is willing to break his arms and legs and all limbs and stuff to do what he has to do. And I think Endeavor, learning that his first... This is spoilers, which I don't... Learning that his firstborn son is a villain, I think that has to break him mentally. Because he tried to do everything he possibly could to help, you know. I think he would try to save his son. I don't know why he wouldn't. That's his son. And yes, as much as I think Endeavor's kind of a dick, but that's the reason I like him. He's so interesting. He's very, very different. And, you know, he's got this cool... Firepower is always cool. And he's got this cool power, but, like, he's got these drawbacks, which honestly doesn't seem like he has them, because he just spams like the hottest abilities he possibly can, and then in his head he's like, "Oh my god, my flames are going weaker," but I'm just spamming the same heat. That's what it looks like to me. But he's interesting because he's not like most other heroes. He wants to be the best, and I don't think anyone else on the hero roster really wants to be the best and to be the symbol of peace, because when you're number one, you're the symbol of peace. And just imagine you finally become number one, and then this fucking snot-nosed brat kid beats you, because Deku, like, you're not doing anything to Shigaraki. And Shigaraki, I want to make a whole separate video on him, because I find him fascinating as a villain now. Like, the character development he's had, oh my... Well, but I think Endeavor got, like, let off the hook so easily for what he has done. And I think it is weird that, like, it was okay for him to do all the stuff that he did, and he's still heroes, and he's still praised. And, like, he has done a lot. He's saved a lot of people. But, like, it's for his own gain in the end, because he wants to be number one, and he finally got it. But the way he got it was number one stepping down. He couldn't even get to his level before he stepped down. And everything was just thrown at him. And he's trying to amend for the bad stuff that he's done. Yes. But, like, could he ever really? Like, could you ever really forgive somebody for doing what Endeavor's done if he did that to your family? Like, that's always going to be like a thought in my head that he could do that again, because he was possible of doing it before. And then you're like, oh, he's grown. Yes, he has grown. But does that change the fact that he did what he did? My opinion, no. He can't totally be allowed to do whatever he wants and well, he can, because he's a hero. Like, who is really going to tell him that he can't do something? He's going to do it because he wants to do it, and he wants to be the hero, and he wants to help people. But the way he goes about it, in my opinion, is wrong. But he also has a good sense for, like, how to do things and how to save people and what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to fight the big bad guy. He's supposed to do this, while everyone else saves the people. He reminds me a lot of Bakugo. And how he is. And I feel like that is very prevalent in, like, the hierarchy, because Bakugo was naturally talented had a naturally good quirk. Yes, he has to train his ass off, and he is training his ass off. I think Endeavor trained his ass off, obviously. Look at the man, he's built like a fucking brick wall. But like, Endeavor is just, in my opinion, the most interesting character in the series. Because there isn't very many people like him that would gone through what he's gone through and still would be considered a hero. Now, in our world, he'd probably go to jail for I think he'd go to jail for what he did. But he's caused so much problems with his family, and they're all trying to heal, and they're all, still okay with him. And I want to learn more about his son, Dabi. And I think that relationship will be interesting. And Hawks was interesting because he was kind of like, not really a hero, not really a villain. Like that. That's why I liked Vigilantes, which I need to read more of. But just the juxtaposition of him and how the hierarchy in My Hero works always interests me. I always get interested by, like, I don't know. I like Deku. I know that's like satire in this series, but Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.